Man was born rich, but he has been taught to see lack. He has been hypnotized by the world's cry of limitation and has forgotten his divine inheritance. He walks through life believing he must toil and strain when God has already prepared the feast, and money, dear one, is but one of the servants at that feast. It is not your master, but your tool, and that tool, like all of God's gifts, flows to those who honor it, who speak of it rightly, and who receive it without fear. Now listen well, for I do not speak of worshipping gold, that is idolatry. I speak of respecting divine supply. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That is the first law of prosperity. You cannot respect money if you fear it, resent it, or chase it. You must make it your servant, never your master. When you see money as a holy channel, when you speak to it with love, handle it with honor, and use it with wisdom, it multiplies. For money, like every spiritual substance, responds to your word, your vibration, your tone. I have known women and men who clutched their last coin with dread, and it turned to dust. But I have also known souls who gave their last with joy, and opened the floodgates of heaven. Why? Because they respected the law. And the law is this: you receive as you believe, you attract what you praise, and money, yes, money, flows to those who treat it with reverence. So I ask you now, how have you been treating money? Have you been cursing it, hiding it, fearing its loss more than you rejoice in its gain? For every thought is a seed, and your bank account, dear one, is only the harvest of your faith. What you think about money you invite. What you bless you keep. What you ignore or mistreat you lose. Divine supply is never withheld. It is only misdirected by man's doubt, man's speech, man's neglect. When you begin to speak rightly of money, it begins to find you. When you treat every coin as a gift from God, it grows in your hands. Respect is not fear. It is order, it is gratitude, it is alignment, and so we begin this divine unfolding. For the Spirit of Truth now moves through your consciousness, clearing away all false beliefs about poverty, all dusty traditions of lack, all errors of shame around wealth. The light goes before us, and the crooked places are made straight. I declare unto you today, money is good. Money is God in action when rightly used, and it flows freely to the one who respects its place in divine order. Now let us move forward, step by holy step, and speak of the laws that govern this sacred flow. Let the word cleanse your thinking and rebuild your world, for you are not here to lack. You are here to reflect the abundance of your Creator. When a man respects money, he does not hoard it in fear, nor does he throw it away in folly. He places it where it multiplies in harmony with divine right action. He knows that every dollar is a soldier marching for his good, and he sends them out with purpose, with clarity, and with love. He is not careless with God's supply. He is a wise steward, not a reckless spender nor a fearful miser. For both waste and worry are signs of disrespect toward the riches of heaven. Many come to me and say, Mrs. Shinn, I am ready for abundance. And yet their purse is in disorder, their accounts are neglected, and their hearts are bitter toward the rich. How, I ask, can divine substance flow where chaos reigns? For God is not a God of confusion, but of order. And respect, dear one, is order in action. If you drop coins with indifference, spend without thought, borrow with no intention to repay, or make promises your pocket cannot keep, you have not yet learned to respect money, and money will flee from your life, just as any servant would flee a master who abuses it. To respect money is to be deliberate. It is to record its comings and goings, not in anxiety but in gratitude. It is to pay what is due, to keep what is just, and to give what is guided. For every transaction is a prayer either of lack or of trust. Are you declaring, I never have enough? Or are you declaring, my supply is endless, for God is my source? I tell you now, if you respect money, you will never envy those who have it. You will bless them, and thereby bless yourself. Envy blocks the current, bitterness closes the door, but blessing opens it wide. Say instead, I rejoice in the riches of others, for what God has done for them, he now does for me. And how do we honor our own substance? We give it a name, we give it a purpose. We say, this dollar is for peace, this one for shelter, this one for joy. In naming your money, you awaken it. You charge it with spiritual direction. And when money has direction, it returns to you increased and multiplied. Many treat money as an intruder, something that comes and goes without cause. But the one who respects it knows that money has ears. It listens to your words. If you constantly say, I can't afford it, then you place bars around your own supply. But if you say, God is the giver of every good gift, and this desire shall be fulfilled through divine channels, then even in a desert, rivers shall spring forth. Respect means you no longer use money to impress. You no longer spend to gain approval or validation. You spend because you are led. You give because you are guided. You receive because you are ready. For the man who respects money is not a slave to desire. He is a master of intention. Let every coin be cleansed of fear. Let every bill be wrapped in prayer. And let every exchange be filled with light. In this way, you prove to the universe that you are ready, that you are trustworthy, and that you are aligned with the divine circulation of wealth. We now go deeper still, for true respect begins not in the wallet, but in the soul. If the soul feels unworthy, money cannot stay. If the heart is filled with guilt, wealth finds no home. But when the soul rises in worthiness, in dignity, in spiritual confidence, then the gates of gold swing open. And so we journey further into the hidden cause of all outward gain, your self-concept, for money does not come to the one who wants it most. It comes to the one who knows they are worthy of it. There can be no lasting prosperity where there is unworthiness. And I say unto you, many block their supply not because God withholds it, but because they withhold it from themselves. The mind says, I must struggle. The heart says, I do not deserve it. And the soul echoes what the lips have confessed. But I declare, you were born worthy. You were fashioned in the image of the Creator who holds all abundance. If you do not believe yourself deserving of the best, how can you expect the best to appear? Money flows not only where it is respected, it flows where it is received. And the one who receives without guilt, without shame, without apology, is the one who knows that all good is from God. He says not, I hope I can have, but it is mine by divine right. Now I tell you a secret, the law works from the inside out. You do not get rich and then feel worthy. You feel worthy and then riches come. You do not wait for the outer world to praise you before you claim your inheritance. You must first declare, I am the child of a king. There is no lack in my kingdom. I do not beg. I expect. I do not plead. I receive. Some say, I give so much, but I receive so little. But I ask you, what is the spirit behind your giving? Do you give to be seen, to prove your goodness? To earn love, that is not giving. It is trading, and heaven does not trade. Heaven gives and multiplies. True giving is done in joy. It is done with a full heart and an open hand, and true receiving must be done the same way. For what you cannot receive, you are not aligned with. The man who blushes at being paid, or who shrinks when complimented, or who feels guilt when prosperity knocks, he is not yet ready for the fullness of the law. Respecting money means you respect yourself as a vessel of wealth. You honor your gifts, your time, your presence, your voice. You know your worth is not in coin, but in character. And yet, you understand that money is drawn to character that stands tall in truth. I have seen many with small means walk like kings, and soon their outer world matched their inner crown. And I have seen those with fortune walk in fear, and their riches melted away like snow. The mind creates the mold. The soul gives the decree, the word gives the command, and so I say, speak worthiness into your being. Say, I am worthy of every good and perfect gift. I am worthy of luxury, ease, joy, peace, surplus. I do not chase. I attract. I do not beg. I bless. I do not doubt. I decree. And so it shall be. Now we come to the next unfoldment. For even as worthiness opens the gate, gratitude keeps it open. The soul that respects money must also give thanks for it, not when it arrives, but before, for praise is the magnet that draws the miracle. Gratitude is the gold key that unlocks every door. And the man who is grateful before the harvest receives faster than the man who only gives thanks when the barn is full. For he that praises the invisible reaps the visible. He that blesses the unseen is blessed openly, and money, dear one, is magnetized by thanksgiving. I say again, respect is not only what you do with your hands, but what you speak with your lips. When you rise in the morning and thank God for the wealth that is on its way, you are watering your field before the crop appears, and the one who waters daily shall never be found wanting when the season of increase comes. There are those who say, but Mrs. Shinn, I have so little to be thankful for. And I say, then you have much work to do in spirit, for a thankless heart is a dry well. Begin with the little and more shall be given. Thank God for the coins in your purse, and they shall multiply like the loaves and the fishes. Thank God for the roof over your head, and he will give you the house not built with hands. Thank God for your breath, and wealth shall ride in on the wings of your joy. To respect money is to never speak ill of it. Do not curse bills, do not complain of prices, do not gossip about those who prosper. Every complaint is a crack in the dam. Every word of envy is a wall between you and your good. But every praise is a trumpet blast that tears down limitation. Every blessing is a bridge to greater substance. I once knew a woman who, though living with very little, would hold her coins in her palm each morning and say, You are God's gold, and you return to me multiplied, increased, and overflowing. She did not mock her little, she honored it. She gave it a mission, and soon her cup began to overflow. Gratitude aligns you with grace. It lifts your vibration above fear and into faith. And I tell you plainly, God cannot fill what man despises. But when you lift your hands in thanksgiving, even when they are empty, the heavens begin to move, and money, which is a spiritual substance clothed in form, hears your praise and hastens to your door. Never say, it is not enough. Say instead, this is the seed of my abundance. Never say, I don't know how. Say, God knows the way and I am led. Let every statement from your lips be one of trust. Let every utterance be an open gate to provision. For your words are your wand, and the wand must point toward what you desire, not what you dread. And so I say, bless every coin. Praise every dollar. Thank the source of all supply, not once, but constantly. In doing so, you declare that you are ready, that you are receptive, that you are in tune with divine right order. Now we come to the next sacred law, for money flows to those who respect it, but it stays with those who govern it wisely. It is one thing to attract, it is another to administer, and the soul that honors its wealth must learn to rule it in love and truth. It is not enough to attract money, you must govern it in the spirit of wisdom, for money is like a flame, it will warm those who tend it, and it will burn those who forget its nature. The child of God who receives wealth without structure shall soon see it slip through his fingers. But the one who tends it with care, as a gardener tends the rose, shall see it grow, bloom, and nourish generations. To govern money is to give it boundaries, not from fear, but from honor. The one who respects money creates order around it. He does not let it scatter, he gives it assignments, he does not spend on impulse, nor does he withhold from fear. He walks in balance, and that balance keeps the river of wealth flowing. There are those who say, I cannot keep money. And I say, you must first become the keeper of your thoughts. For if your mind leaks, your money will follow. If your emotions are stormy, your finances will reflect the tide. For outer order is the reflection of inner dominion. The one who governs money sets aside a portion for giving, a portion for growing, a portion for use, and a portion for stillness. He knows the law of circulation and the law of containment. He gives without guilt and saves without hoarding. His hand is generous, but his eye is clear. He is not driven by haste, but led by vision. Respecting money means that you are willing to be its master, not through force, but through alignment. You do not chase after every want, nor do you shrink from every price. You are neither slave to luxury, nor prisoner to lack. You walk the middle path, where peace resides and wisdom reigns. The governed mind produces governed wealth, and the governed soul walks in dominion. For when the soul is still, the money becomes still. When the soul is faithful, the finances become fruitful. And when the soul is ruled by spirit, the material world bows in harmony. I once told a man, do not fear what you spend, fear what you ignore, for money that is forgotten breeds confusion. But money that is accounted for, like sheep counted by a shepherd, shall always return, and it shall bring increase, not by chance, but by law. Keep your accounts as you keep your prayers, with reverence. Let every expense be a decision, not a reaction. Let every income be honored, not dismissed. And let your finances reflect your faith, not your fear. Many wait for more before they manage what they have. But I tell you now, until you respect the small, the great will not come. Until you govern the little, you are not ready for the much. He that is faithful in little shall be made ruler over much. That is not merely a verse. It is a law, as sure as gravity, as swift as thought. And so now we step forward, for money does not only respond to management, it responds to mission. Money must have a purpose higher than self, for it is drawn to the soul that carries a divine cause. Money, like all spiritual substance, desires direction. It does not remain where there is no mission, no meaning, no ministry. For money is energy made visible, and energy, when not guided, dissipates. You must give money a place in the great design of your life. You must tie it to your calling, your service, your divine appointment. Only then will it return, not just as currency, but as confirmation of your purpose. I say it boldly. Money loves vision. It is drawn to those who know what they are here to do. The soul who says, I am here to heal, or I am here to build, or I am here to bless the world through my gifts, shall find that the gates of provision open with ease. But the one who wanders aimlessly, who asks money to make them feel significant, who has no mission higher than acquisition, such a one will find that wealth slips through their fingers, for it is not anchored in truth. To respect money is to make it serve something greater than the self. It is to dedicate it to works of peace, of upliftment, of creation. The soul that tithes, that builds, that contributes to the light, it walks with power. It walks with the approval of heaven, not because of the sum given, but because of the spirit in which it is offered. Do not mistake me. You may enjoy luxury. You may rest in beauty. For the child of God is not called to rags, but to radiance. But let your comfort be rooted in calling. Let your home be a place of refuge for others. Let your cup overflow not only to your own lips, but to the thirsty around you. For as you water others, you too shall be watered. I once knew a man who wrote on every envelope of money he gave, This shall return to me in divine ways, for the blessing of all. And return it did many times over, not because he gave to get, but because he gave with purpose. Money that is tied to love returns in abundance. Money that is sent forth with clarity returns with speed. And money that is dedicated to the work of spirit is multiplied by unseen hands. If you want more, define your why. If you seek increase, expand your vision. Do not ask for money to prove your worth or fill your emptiness. Ask for it to fulfill your divine task. Ask for it so that your hands may heal, your words may teach, your work may lift the weary. Ask for it with holy intention, and it will come. The Spirit sees not your need, but your readiness. When your soul is aligned, when your motives are cleansed, when your purpose is clear, the channels open, and money flows like water to the sea. And now we move forward into a sacred realization, for even as money flows to those who respect it, and even as it stays with those who govern it, it expands with those who live in alignment with divine timing. For rushing, forcing, and panic are all signs of mistrust, but he who walks in peace walks in power. There is a time for sowing and a time for reaping, and no man hastens the harvest by pulling the roots. Money, like all good things, comes by divine appointment. When you respect it, govern it, and give it holy purpose, you must then step back in faith and allow spirit to move without interference. For the soul that panics delays the blessing, but the soul that rests hastens it. I say again, divine timing is perfect. You may not see how your supply shall come, but you need not know. You are not called to force doors, but to speak the word and keep your peace. The moment you declare, I am divinely provided for, my supply is secure, money comes to me in perfect ways, the heavens begin to arrange themselves. Messengers are sent, connections are drawn, opportunities are stirred, but if you meddle, you disrupt the current. If you doubt, you disturb the soil. The soul that truly respects money respects the process of creation. She waits not in worry, but in worship. He walks not in fear, but in faith. There is no struggle in spirit. There is no panic in God's law. Your wealth is never late. It is being prepared in the invisible and shall appear at the appointed time. And so I speak this into your heart. Wait with praise, expect with joy, prepare in peace, for preparation is faith in action. Clean your accounts, bless your debts, Organize your purse and speak increase over your life. Live now as if the abundance were already here, for in truth it already is. It exists in the unseen, and your faith draws it into form. Declare, I trust the timing of God. I am not behind. I am not late. I am not forgotten. My wealth is on time. My provision is scheduled. I now receive all that is mine by divine right, without resistance, without delay, without fear. Money flows to those who respect it, not just in word, but in vibration, not just in thought, but in tone. It flows to the one who honors the laws of spirit, who blesses without bitterness, who receives without guilt, and who walks without haste. Let this truth be written upon your heart. You were never meant to beg. You were never meant to scrape by. You were never meant to fear the mailbox or the market. You are a child of the Most High God, and money, when rightly seen, is your servant, not your burden. Speak rightly of it, handle it reverently, assign it purposefully, and rest in the knowledge that divine supply cannot be stopped. It can only be welcomed. And so now I say, welcome it, bless it, use it, govern it, give it, and above all, respect it. For money flows to those who respect it.